How's it going, everyone? KingBlackToof here, and today's video we're going to look at a card which I don't think you see many people using at all, and I really want to just evaluate that card and then show you my biggest Draug ever. So, if you haven't guessed what it is, then you obviously weren't paying attention. It's Draug. Okay, so this is a monster gold card. It's an 8 strength and it has a very unusual ability to what it used to do, and it's got one of the best voice lines in the game. So, recently, I've been trying to play it in my Relic Eaters deck. Now, I am unsure whether it's actually worth taking, but I'm giving it a very good shot, and sometimes it's great. In the following video, this is the biggest Draug I've ever gotten, and probably the biggest Draug that anyone will ever get without, manipulating the game in some way. But what Draug does, he's very complicated. He's an 8 strength gold, which is quite low at the minute, but he spawns a Draug gear for you and your opponent. But you get to choose the strength values associated with that. So essentially, you have to choose one card from your graveyard. It'll banish that card, and your Draug gear will take on that value. So if it's an 11 strength that you banish, the Draug gear you get will be an 11 strength. And then you have to do it to your opponent's graveyard, and they get that Draug gear. So if you banish a 3 strength minion from their graveyard, they will get a 3 strength Draug gear. And in both circumstances, if you banish a special card, then the Draug gear is 5 strength. So it's worth noting that the Draug gears that come out of the graveyard for both players are randomly placed on a particular row. So it can really hurt you. In fact, you'll only notice the times when it does hurt you. You've got ghouls on the melee row, and you've got a Katakan. It's looking pretty dangerous, and then the Draug gear will go onto the melee row. I'd love to be able to place them in the future if CD Projekt Red is watching, but at the minute, you're just going to have to hope it goes somewhere that doesn't hurt you too much. So my Relic Eaters deck utilizes a lot of high base strength. So you'll use things like the Fiend, which is an 11 base strength if played properly. You've got the Cyclops, which you can get to 10 base strength. And you've got a couple of 8 strength things in like Rot Fiends and such. So really good targets for Draug in this deck. Now, on average, your opponent will probably play 3 or 4 base strength units. Things like War Dancers, Wild Hunt Hounds, maybe even Roach, which might be good. The exception might be the Nilfgaardian Spy deck. I find that they only play Rot Tossers, which are 6, Imperium Forces, which are 6, Imperia Brigades, which are 6. And they do play Emissaries, but they end up in your graveyard, which is kind of bad. But the real question is banishing. So banishing from your graveyard is not great, but that's what they're there to be consumed. Now, banishing from your opponent's graveyard has a couple of strategies revolving around it. And this is the main reason why I stuck him in initially. So you could banish their Trollolo, stop them playing it again. Now, the downside to that is that you will be giving them an 11 strength unit. Now, it's better than an 11 strength unit that generates armor, but it's still pretty bad. If you win round 1, then maybe you can do it in round 2 where strength doesn't matter as much. But the main reason I stuck him in was Marigold's Hailstorm. You can banish that card now. And if they're playing Ethne and they had the opportunity to reuse it, you can stop that from happening. That happened to me, which is what made me put Draug in. And I think he kind of works in the deck as well. But people have started to go away from that. I think Francesca has started to become very popular. So maybe that's not really necessary anymore. But it can banish special cards like Scorch and stuff. So that's always an option. Now, the next thing, we've got a couple of strategies that you can use Draug for. The first one being that sometimes opponents don't play, very weak minions. It happens. So one thing you could do is take something like Artifact Compression. This will guarantee a 2 strength silver in the opponent's graveyard when the round ends. And that means you guaranteed something rubbish to give to the opponent's Draug. Okay, or, to Draug gear, which is really, really good. Another really positive thing you could do is if the opponent has no units in their graveyard and you've got one in yours, then Draug only actually banishes yours and only gives you strength. You don't have to banish something from the opponent's for the whole process to work. You can just use your own graveyard. So if they have none and you have one, maybe you Cyclops something and killed it or consumed it or something, then you can use Draug for just positives completely, which is really, really good. Now, on average, I would say, out of all the games that I play, Draug is usually about 13 to 15 strength as a gold. That's including the negative from giving your opponent a card. And I don't know if that's good enough for a gold. It might be. I mean, what is his benefit? There's not really a benefit. It's just strength. That's all he is. It's just pure strength. I mean, you get 1 extra body, you get 2 for 1, but It's not like you could say Yorveth. He's only 14, but the actual 7 strength removal that Yorveth does could be quite significant to get some of off the board that's really important. So Draug doesn't do anything like that. It's just strength. And 14 to 16, it's maybe a little lackluster. Oftentimes he is seemingly quite lackluster. But in this deck it works well, I think. So Draug has got some issues. I mean, you might be able to take Iris again, give that to the opponent. There's a 3 strength in the thing for Draug. So I'm still unsure. I'd like to hear your opinions on Draug. But it does work in this deck, but it's whether he's valuable enough. There might be better golds, like Eskel just might, his removal potential might just be better. But this is the biggest Draug that I've ever got, and probably that anyone will ever get, I would imagine. And thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you again very soon. So yeah, I mean, I haven't been into the Pro, and I'm quite nervous about it, actually. Because like all your wins and losses mean a lot straight away, I think. Sunshine, Zai Woo. Shay Woo. Woo. Shay Woo. That's funny. It's funny to me. Shay Woo. Better to have a Foglet than a Crone. Because otherwise you get into like serious doo-doo. Serious doo-doo. We'll just hope to get Woodland Spirit later. Oh wow, we're quite big. No one told me that I was covering up the scoreboard. Thanks, man. Blue Core Tina. Sounds like a car. You like cars, do you? You're a car man, are you? Right. For specific purposes, it's a frost time. The fog's not going to do anything. If he's got a Skellige greatsword, then we don't want to deal with that. Mead, more mead.
It's boring just standing here.
And we get one of them. Nice one, Bob. Nice one, Bob. Could have used the giant, the Toad Prince on the Foglet, and then use Fog for a little value if I'd thought about it that way. Mistakes were made. Gotta play that, we don't want to deal with that. How you doing, new GTX, man? I'm going to buy a new computer soon. Be buying a 50 billion GTX. Good job we used those crones, right? Everyone should experience a Cortina before they break off their mortal coil. I don't drive, I can't drive. And I'm 28 years old, and I cannot drive. What happened to Roach on the roof? He doesn't like the game anymore. He's XCOM 2ing it up. Yeah. Playing XCOM 2. Bloody XCOM 2. Which row is the most likely to be? Let's do that then, shall we? KVT's making bank of Sweet's Twitch money. I've already got 5 Cortinas from all that Twitch money that I seem to be earning. We have to find another honorary peasant mod instead of Roach. Yeah, sure. I mean, Roach doesn't turn up, then what can you do?
Let's not get in the way of me axe.
You must live where public transport is good. I guess you could say that. It's okay. It doesn't crash. There you go.
Seen it all already.
Seen it all already. And then some. Right. If I do 2 damage to everything, it's also similar to doing 2 damage to nothing. I mean, we are going to kill that, but it's a question whether to hit that or hit that. Now, I don't want him healing. I doubt he would have that, but the potential's there. And I guess we can always save the Fiend for that. So we'll do 8 damage on that. And we'll just do some damage there. Can you drink tea in a bus? Yes. Well, I think the tea would run out of the bus if you tried to fill a bus with tea. Maybe if you lock the windows. You drink tea in a bus. I haven't got a bus-shaped cup. London, near London, you know, Birmingham, Coventry, that sort of area. Reasonable. We've got the Catacan and we've got the Caretaker. Caretaker. The man who cares. He cares. I like it. Right, so the question is, next round I'm not going to have the opportunity to get everything I want. Blah. So, we push him this round by using the Caretaker.
Crack and eat your ghoulies. Looky here.
And that way, you know, there's a possibility he might not think I can kill the other one. And then, you know, we'll see. Ragnadank.
I can help you if you wish.
I've never seen a cockatrice played. What am I missing? Well, let's build that deck. Surely it's just a Death Wish deck with cockatrice. You know, I mean, they work the same as Imperial Brigades, but I guess it's less flexible because you play the Emissary and you can make a choice. You can't do that here and such. Will you play Pro Ladder? I would like to. I am quite nervous about it. I haven't touched it yet. Quite nervous about how good my decks are or not. What's your opinion on the whole Life Coach Invitational debate? Now, I feel like I don't have all of the information. I mean, because I haven't gone through all Petrify's tweets. But, I mean, I initially thought this when the Pro Ladder was announced, that it feels like so demoralizing. I mean, like, you've got such a hill to climb, it's ridiculous. Whereas just like a tournament, you could probably do a lot better. Fuck. Beat it with that, won't we?
God won't be pleased.
Priestess of Freya. Hmm. Draug. Yeah, the ghoul's ability is really good. Ha! He's gonna steal it. I'm glad we kept that. I mean, that's fucking absurd. I need to ghoul that before he decoys or something. I so need to ghoul that. Or maybe Draug it. Draug it would banish it so he can't do anything with it later.
Seen it all already.
Ooh, Zeracania's Marvels. Right. Let's have a look. 1 strength. Yep, Draug time. Draug time, bitch. How's Draug? I mean, oftentimes he's not too good. That is absurd. He's used his coral though. But, right, banished. And he's getting a 1 strength. That is the best Draug I've ever had. No, I mean, his priestess, he discarded it, so... Wow, that is the best Draug I have ever had. What is that value? Is that 32 minus 1? 31 strength Draug? I fucking love it. What did he discard? 9 strength. Not that good, is it? But... I mean, if I lose this, probably because that's all the strength there. He probably marigold it or something. But, 31 point drag. This is very rare though. You don't often get this. Okay, I mean these are fucking crazy though. Which row is going to have the most stuff on? I'm guessing it's the siege, but I'll lose some value. So
Stars
I mean,
are all the
these
trophies I
fucking
need.
getting pretty good, right? After the biggest Igni, now the biggest Draug. Yeah. I mean, these are getting pretty big. Pretty big. Still feel like I'm going to lose this. He hasn't used Sigurdrifa, so I don't want to hit that. I still actually feel like I'm going to lose this. Perish in blood.
In blood.
Perish in blood. He's got 13 strength. I've got a 15 strength. With Jamo.
That is your brilliant move.
Brilliant move.
Truly.
Truly. Alright, well, I guess a 14's got to do it. Then a Marigold's Hailstorm. It's about 30 strength, isn't it? Yeah!
Pam param, pam pam param.